Hello everybody, JTSREVIEWSUK, and today we're going to be reviewing the Harry's, or Harry's, or whatever you want to call it, Midnight Black Razor, right there. It says on the box you get one reusable handle, of course it's reusable, 5-blade cartridge, and a travel cover on it. On the back it gives you loads of blurb right there. Designed to start sharp and stay smooth. 5 German blades. It's kind of misleading because it says blades, you know, like in multi-pack of razors, but it's not, it's just 5 blades in the cartridge itself. Non-slip grip, it's got a little trimmer right there as well, so you can, you know, do that, but I'm not going to be using the trimmer part just for this demonstration. 50% of the razor blades are recycled apparently. And on the side there, it looks like a DVD or book right there. If you don't know what a DVD is, go on Google. Anyway, opening. Oh yeah, on the back it says here as well that it's manufactured at delivery address there. I don't know. Delivery address, that's not one address. Anyway, opening this out. Apparently it's made in Germany. Apparently. Now we were comparing it to another razor blade that we used to use. Sadly, I don't seem to find them anymore. Anyway, on the inside of the box, you get this little message. And the message says, "Hi there, we spent a lot of time thinking about shaving and ways to make your routine better. Didn't try hard enough, lads. But we don't just think about how we can make you look better, but feel better too." No way, didn't add any shaving stuff in there. That's why we set aside 1% of sales to support our mission of providing mental health case access for men. I guess that's kind of good that they are providing that, you know, mental health. Thanks for choosing Harry's razor. So yeah, basically, well, it just says Harry's anyway. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Anyway, inside the box itself, you get the razor itself, obviously with the blade with it. And you also get a little blade guard thing there. Now, on here, it has information right there, step-by-step stuff. Tells you how to shave, what to use. It's recommending their own Harry's stuff there that you can use, which I'm not going to be using. I'll be using Wilks & Sword's own shaving cream. Shows you what's up to with the razor, I guess, I don't know. Tells you here that you can use the little trimming thing right there on your nose bit here, whatever. And then it says hi right there, which is kind of a nice touch. A close shave calls for a close travel companion or whatever. Non-slip grip and all that sort of stuff. So it's very gimmicky really for a razor. On the back it says, Harry's is more than just a great shave. Visit harrys.com to see how we can take your routine from good to great. And it has a QR code right there, which you can't really see because this camera is awful. It's nicely presented, the box, I have to say, you know. Very nicely presented. Anyway, enough of the gimmick crap. Let's go over to the Harry's razor handle. So as you can see, look, it's got like this plastic clip, well not clear, but normal plastic right here, and a bit of rubberization right here on the handle. Quite a nice feel to it. Taking the blade guard off, you can see that it is a 5-blader right there, with a lubrication strip and a guard protection right there. And it also has a little trimmer right there, which hardly anyone uses. Very nice, very easy. To change the blades, you just simply press down and it comes straight off quite easily. Now, the razor blades themselves are dead expensive. A bit of a gimmick, as I said. I don't like the idea of razor blades being so highly priced, considering that they're quite cheap to make anyway. Does come with a nice little cover here, so you can pop the razor in and travel with it. Although at that price I wouldn't want to. But all in all, the blade system itself, if I can get the down cover off, is a 5-bladed. Now, if you remember back ages ago, many moons ago, we did this one right here, and obviously they turned into this. This basically is a Shark 5, I believe it was called, but the blades are not swappable for this. So if you can find the blades for this razor, it won't fit anyway. So just to let you know that this thing doesn't fit onto here, so you can't like use them. So it's not that affordable really, if you ask me. I'll put the prices on the screen of how much it does cost for the razor blade refills, and let me just say, against the Gillette, this has to be quite bad price in my opinion. It makes me laugh when they give you all that gimmick rubbish of, oh yeah, you know, it's like affordable, and it's not, because this was more affordable back then than this was. And so is when you get a double edge, it's much easier, I think. And no bias against double edges, but you know, but as you can see, look, it got the H there, and yeah. Anyway, we're giving this a go, and we'll see what it shaves like. Okay, before we have a shave, I thought I'd show you a few things. First of all, this is what it looks like with that big shaving cover, and two, I thought I'd let you know that we're not using this cheap, horrible piece of crap brush anymore, because I got a new brush. Anyway, without further ado, let's get on with the shave and see what this Harry's razor is like. And as per usual, I'll be using the Wilson Sword cream. Right, let's wet the face. Making sure the camera angle's right as well. So yeah, we've got our new shaving brush. Let's give it a test drive. It's a windy day today as well, quite windy. Oh yeah, this feels a lot more better. The other one was definitely rough as balls. This feels lovely. Okay, that should do. So, let's see what this Harry's razor is like, or is it Harry's? I don't know. And it's got 5 blades apparently. Right, let's give it a go. Yeah. Wow, a bit rough. Well, it feels nice to handle. 5 blades getting to work, but quite rough blades on this one. Definitely reminds me of the Shark razor. If you can hear noises going on, it's my neighbours in the tower area. Of course, the noisiest when you're filming. put into mind how much a blade this is as well, and to me I don't think it's worth that, but doesn't seem to have clogged, so let's go with the second pass. Just making sure the film was recording as well. Making sure that I can work the brush in. Now I've got one in white, but I also got one in black for travel. And that's where this is coming in mostly for travel. But I'll be using this as well at home for a bit until I can get my new shaving bowl in the post and, you know, some actual shaving cream or whatever it is that you can put into the bowl. But the brush seems to be smooth as anything, and that is nice. But the razor, I'm not sure. Feels a lot like that Lidl razor, and I don't think that was very good either. And to be honest, these, for £9 for a 5 or 4 pack of these, I don't think it's worth it. I don't think I'll be using this again. But we'll see. Okay, let's see what happens with the second pass. It doesn't look like it's clogging up. I don't know. I really wouldn't know where to start with this thing. The more the blades, the more the danger, in my opinion, and the more worse the idea is. That's just my opinion. Yeah, that's all I'm going to do with that. Right, so how did I get on with the Harry's razor? Well, if I had a subscription, I probably wouldn't go with it again, but in my opinion, because not just it's expensive, but it wasn't the smoothest shave I had in the world. It was kind of rough. It was a kind of close, rough shave than those disposables that I got for £1. And instead of this is more expensive for that anyway. But how did it go? Well, smooth going down, smooth going up, quite smooth going sideways, pretty smooth. And considering I didn't use the little trimmer blade at the back, you know, because I know this is a shark razor from Lidl, or was, I don't know, I think it's part of a, I can't remember, it's probably a, I just can't remember what model the real razor is, but it basically is that company that Lidl took the razors from, and you can like get cheap packs of them and all that sort of stuff, but and then I think Harry's took over and that was the end of it. And it wasn't a bad shave with this thing, but in my opinion, is it really worth the amount that they are asking for? No, in my opinion, because it looked like it was got a block at one point, the way it was designed, Would I get replacement blades for this? I don't think I'll be in a big rush to get them. I'd rather go for the Gillette Mach 3 refills than bother with this again, because going downwards, it reminded me of this razor, the very cheap £1 razor, and that was much more cheaper, and I had a really good experience with that as well as the what do you call it, the Blue 3. So in my opinion, is it worth £9 for a pack of 4? Obviously not in my opinion, but I do like the handle and I do like the way it's designed. It has a nice flex on it. It definitely reminds me of the old little razor, and brought me back good times of that. But anyway, what would I rate this? I would say about an 8 out of 10. Reasons? Because it's not the smoothest shave, and it reminds me of the very cheapo ones, and for that I'm knocking a point off for it being expensive for being a very cheap blade. And because it wasn't the smoothest, yeah, that's why I'm knocking that point off. But the rest of it was alright, you know. It did an okay shave. It was quite close as the Blue 3 that we did last time, which was a 9. But this is an 8 because it's a bit more expensive, and it's not really, in my opinion, worth the refills and all that sort of stuff, and a subscription to it. You know, it's like they give you all that marketing gimmick saying, you know, we think it's reasonable what we charge for our blades, and in my opinion, I don't think it is, considering how rough it is to start with this thing. It's quite a rough razor. Yeah, in my opinion, you're probably better off with a double edge. You know, there's no subscriptions, no nothing, and there's no gimmick stuff like this. But yeah, it's not a bad razor. I mean, if I was stuck with this, I wouldn't be upset. And as for the others, I wouldn't be upset if I was stuck with them, to be honest. They've all been certainly far good, in my opinion. But yeah, that's my review. Don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.